It's my brother Bobby Thompson. It's been a minute since we've done this, but I'm happy to have you back in the fold. Obviously, the origin stories of GC Sports is where our villain arc began.
Yep. It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time since we've done this.
So, I mean, we just saw an incredible game pitched by Yamamoto. One of the better pitch games you'll see, especially in the World Series. And the Dodgers definitely got some momentum back. But the
Yep.
Blue Jays kind of did what they had to do. Like, we kind of both said,
Yeah.
like, that we needed them. They had to win one game in Toronto, and they did that.
Right.
But the only problem is now that the Dodgers have the home field advantage back because they have more games at home when the series is tied.
Right. So yeah, this game we talked about this off air that the Dodgers would not go down 2-0. It's just not what they do. And tonight's game, I watched the entire thing. Yamamoto, in the beginning, let up the run and then just got better and better. Dodgers obviously scored first, and as they just couldn't hit throughout the game, and then once as the game went on and Gosman's stuff started to cool off, that's when Will Smith hit that homer, and then Muncy hit the homer too, and then the rest is history. But Yamamoto is the story of tonight. He was that guy is something else. It seems he just got better and better as the game went on, and that's just what they needed. After a game one loss like that, an embarrassment like that, he came in and really provided them with something they desperately needed, a great pitching outing. I think we could both agree the Dodgers bullpen is not the strongest, and
We saw that yesterday.
yep, and the fact of the matter is they did not have to go to that bullpen today. That's huge for the Dodgers. Huge advantage for the
Yeah.
Dodgers going forward, given that bullpen. That's not a strong suit for them. Some rest. So, big day for the Dodgers. Tie the series at 1-1. Do I think the Blue Jays are going to just sit down and die after this? Absolutely not. But it was a very, very good game for the Dodgers. Love what I saw from them.
So I agree with you. A lot of good things to take from LA tonight. Yamamoto faced some trouble early, but he did
Yeah,
what an ace does, and he battled out of it, retired 20 straight. The Blue Jays had no answers for him after that. His
no.
split finger pitch is disgusting, as we've talked about.
Filthy.
His control was pinpoint. He doesn't give up any home runs. Although Vlad came close, he just didn't get it high enough. But
Nope.
Vlad hit a bullet off him.
Yes, he did.
Yamamoto's only giving up .7 homers per 9 innings. Like he doesn't even give up a homer per start. Like if he was to pitch a complete game, he's also given up the least amount of hits in the league, like 5.9 per 9 innings. His batting average is like 160 to 170 against him. Like he just doesn't give up anything. Like he's one of the best pitchers in the game. The Dodgers paid a lot for him, and he's worth every penny they invested in him. And it was a big whiff by the Yankees, and we're gonna get to that. We'll talk about Toronto and a few other things as well. But like Yamamoto's been as good as advertised. Like I told
Yes,
you about him a while ago, and like I did my
did.
video breakdown. I gotta try to resurface. I've been digging for it. Later tomorrow, I'll try to get that back up. Um, but if you look at all the stuff I said, it kind of like does resonate now. I gotta try to like find it, but that's besides the point. And also just to see him pitch back to back complete games is not something that people really do anymore.
No.
And John Smoltz made a good point in the broadcast, and this is something I'd like to see the Yankees adapt more of. He said like you don't have to just have like the hard cap for 100 pitches for a starting pitcher. Like that's not how baseball used to be played when we were growing up. They used to let these guys go 120, 130 in certain situations, and it would be fine. And there was less injuries then than there is now. So
Yeah.
you wonder like if the cost control, like maxing out for like less pitches, is like not beneficial for these guys. But Yamamoto is just a great pitcher. Like his mechanics are smooth. I always liked his little delivery too. I think he really just like it looks effortless when he gets rid of the ball.
Yeah. I agree with everything you just said. I'm the type of person who doesn't agree with some of the things in baseball, how it happens, especially with that. If a pitcher's stuff is electric and he's getting outs and his pitch count is up, why you get just because it's the seventh inning and he has 85 pitches? No, if he's in a rhythm, I'm not taking him out because that's just going to cause more problems. I just Listen, I agree. Back in the day, 120, 130 pitches. Hell, some of the guys went 150. I mean, that's
Yeah.
insane. And the fact that there were no injuries, and nowadays when they're trying to limit going to over 100 pitches per start, and there's more injuries, it just doesn't make sense.
No,
So
it doesn't.
it's just crazy. It really is. And going back to Yamamoto, watching him pitch, yeah, it's effortless. That split finger is just disgusting. He looks phenomenal. I got to tell you, his delivery kind of reminds me of Tanaka a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
he likes
I've seen
Masa a
some
lot.
I've seen some similarities when I'm watching him. I'm like, wow, this guy and Tanaka have a very similar delivery. And
Like how he brings the glove up like this a little bit. Like he liked Masha a lot. He was a big Tanaka fan, and that's why I thought the Yankees had a chance. And now let's revisit history here. So the Yankees refused to go up to 325 for him. Let's just remember that they didn't want to pay him more than Garrett Cole. I think the Yankees were the runner-up in theory because like he wasn't really that interested in the Mets, even though the Mets offered a lot of money. He kind of told them to back off, like he wasn't going there. The Yankees, like, if they had matched that deal, I don't know. If, I'm not going to guarantee he would have been a Yankee, but like they could have made a better effort. And they tried to do the bull, for lack of a better term. The thing they do is like they tried to make the AAV better per year, but it's still not like the same total dollars amount, so it didn't matter, obviously.
well, I mean, you and I love this saying, it's only money, right? So
Yeah,
the
it's not
thing
my money.
is,
It's not your money.
no. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. With somebody like his talent, you need to spend money. I don't care if you didn't want to go for Cole. How old is he, Yamamoto? How old is
He's
this?
like 27, maybe.
Okay, 27. So,
Yeah.
first of all, it would have been a huge help to the Yankees rotation,
Yep.
and that's um, something in ownership and front office. They should have seen that and spent the money, and would have been a huge investment. Would have really helped. Obviously, the rich get richer with the Dodgers. They don't care how much anything spends; they just do it, and
Right.
that's why they're
Yep.
in the World Series again,
Yeah.
trying to win the back-to-back championships. While the Yankees are playing hee haw down in Jamaica or wherever they're at right now. So,
Yeah, they're
um,
golfing.
yeah. So the fact of the matter is, you got to spend the money. It was a huge whiff, and the Dodgers benefited, and you see it now because he could have been in pinstripes, and now he's not. He's now in
Yeah.
Dodger blue.
The thing is, we'll never know, unfortunately. Like, I'm not
No,
going to guarantee and say he would have been a Yankee if they come closer to match it, but what if you offered him 10 years over 330? Then maybe he would have took it. Who knows? I mean, how high were the Dodgers willing to go? Were they maxed out at 325? Were they going to keep playing the tug of war game? Like, we'll
I
never know
mean,
that either.
Here's the thing: if they were in a bidding war and they lost the bidding war, I would have more respect. I understand. I get it. You have a certain amount. However, the fact that you didn't even want to get into the same ballpark as some other teams to try to land a guy like this, even though he's a generational talent, is is just criminal and just I think general managing and ownership malpractice. So. I think the Dodgers also had a bit of an advantage having Otani. I think that was
Yes.
another huge advantage. So, the Yankees could have been, at a disadvantage. I get that, but you got to go down swinging. No pun intended. So, uh,
Yeah. No, you're right.
you got to go in there and just give your best offer and be competitive. And hell, maybe you know what he might have taken less to come to the Yankees because just showing you're wanted and showing they appreciate what you could bring to the franchise. I think that goes a long way, and players really appreciate that. And obviously, the Yankees ownership. I mean, you and I could sit here all night and just bash at the Yankees with how they do things, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But the fact of the matter is that it's just malpractice. It's just malpractice.
It's just not good enough. Like it really isn't. And
No.
how many times are they going to be the runner-up on these big guys? And like, yeah, they've gotten Cole, which we expected. Yes, they did get Max Free, which is a good move. The Traper stands and
They
not
did
work
get
out.
Rodon.
Rodon's a big move, yes, and the Traper stand hasn't worked
No,
obviously in the
didn't.
long run. So who knows if he even
I appreciate they did it. It was a huge thing to have him and Judge in the same lineup, two power hitting guys. but it just didn't work out. The guy is just too injury prone. It was just a bad trade. Now you look at it,
Yeah, and
and capping us financially, just like the Jacoby Ellsbury
yes, and
signing.
not only that, it also pigeonholes his DH spot because he can't play a position, he can't run the fields, he can't run the bases. Really, like it's a problem. Will they
Yeah.
finally move off him? We'll see. Obviously, as we both talked about, the guy to get was clearly Bryce Harper, and now like there's a bunch of rumblings with Bryce. I know you've probably been paying
I
attention to
I
those.
knew you were going to bring that
He,
up.
I don't know if I would. I mean, and under the right circumstances, I would do the deal. But like, I don't know how likely it is. I think it's a lot of miscommunication. I don't think he wants to leave Philly, but he's not happy. Obviously,
No,
Dombrowski doesn't want him to leave either. I think a lot of things got misinterpreted there. But if it were to happen, it's definitely something the Yankees should explore. Then you could put Rice at catching platoon a little more. You could still, and then Bryce could be first. You could DH him a little bit, like depending what happens with Stan and stuff. I mean, and obviously he can still hit really well at the stadium. The only thing is the injuries have been a concern for Harper lately. He's 33, so he's not that old
he's
yet.
orange. Okay.
You have like 6 years left on his deal. Hey Nathan, how you doing? Yup, this is a throwback, brother. It's been a minute. Feels like the old days right now. But yeah, I told you I had a surprise on my sleeve, and this is it. So now next time if when we do it, it's not going to be a surprise anymore. But I had to keep everyone on their toes.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing with Bryce Harper, I think honestly, I think it's just a bunch of hoo-ha over nothing. I don't think he goes anywhere.
Probably not.
I mean, why would he want to? I understand now this might rub him the wrong way. Um, I think that the ownership and front office will do everything they can to try to, diffuse the situation. But the fact that it got to this is a little bit of a problem. But if
Yeah,
somehow that they would move him, the Yankees definitely have to consider. I think it's a move they should have made a long time ago.
yeah, that's the
We,
issue. Is it too late now? Because like it would have been better back in the day, obviously. And
yeah,
there is still 6 years, 153 million left. I mean, the AAV is not terrible. Would the Phillies moves pay some of it down? Possibly, you never know. But like the return wouldn't be crazy because the contracts and the age. Like you wouldn't have to give up
yeah,
that much for him, really. It would
no.
be more like a salary dump in essence.
But
But
I agree, the injuries are a problem. You know, I think it would be a big move. It would help us tremendously. I think his swing at Yankee Stadium, as you said, is perfect.
it still is.
Um, but the injuries are concerning. The contract a little high, but to make the Yankees better and to um, add him to the team as they should have did years ago, I think is something that they have to consider if that opportunity presents itself. But personally, to me, and from looking at it today, I heard about this today. I honestly looked at this. I'm like, there's nothing going to happen with this. I think
Yeah,
they're gonna talk it out. They'll be upset and they'll work it out, and he'll be with the Phillies for the rest of his career.
yeah, I'm still leaning that way as well. That's kind of how I feel. So let's go back to Yamamoto. I mean, he strike. Another thing that was very impressive about him is that he strikes out a team that doesn't strike out. Like the Blue
Yeah,
Jays don't whiff. I think this
he had
actually
eight
might.
today.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
second.
eight.
No, it
Yeah,
was eight. It was eight. Yeah. I'll put the thing back up. But like, um, I think this was actually the second highest whiffs they had. The Yankees actually struck them out 9 times, and the loss they had in Game Three, I think that
yeah.
was the most they've struck out this postseason. So, like, let me ask you this: like, seeing the Blue Jays do this, like, how far off does it make you feel like the Yankees are, and like, does it make you think of the Yankees team a little bit better because the Blue Jays are maybe better than like we thought they were? Like, how do you feel like this Yankees kind of outlook goes off of like what we're seeing with Toronto?
I think Toronto is a very, very good team. I think they have their guy in Vlad Guerrero. They feed
Yeah.
off of him. I don't think people give enough credit to just how good George Springer really is as well. I think
Yeah,
he provides a spark for them. I'll sit here all day and say I don't know why Bo Bichette is on the bench. That guy should be starting. But with the Yankees, I'll be honest with you. I think that with you got to watch out for them now. I don't think the Yankees are too far off. I think the Yankees have a lot of talent. Obviously, the Yankees, in my opinion, have a better player in Aaron Judge than they
Yeah,
do in Vlad
of
Guerrero.
course, yeah.
Um, I also think our pitching staff, once it gets healthy, I think there's no competition. It's one of the best, not only in the AL East, but in baseball. With Garrett Cole coming back, having Max Fried, and then you have Rodon as your top three. That's huge. And then they still once Clark Schmidt comes back, that's going to be huge. I don't think people talk about just losing him, how big of a blow that was.
That was
You you,
massive.
you know that better than anybody. That's your boy.
Yeah, I
So,
do like Clark. I know his father, so like it was tough to see him go down.
but
Good point with Clark. I feel like he got overlooked, and like you look
yeah,
at the end of the situation with the season, a couple of things hit very well. Cam Switler obviously going to be in the conversation.
yes,
He's a stud, so that's a
hmm
great top four. Whenever I don't know if Clark's going to be back next year because he went down so late. It's the only problem. Like I don't know,
probably not.
maybe
Yeah,
late August or September. He might have to be a bullpen arm at that point, and maybe they could use him in that role because he's done it before. It's been a few years, but then you have him start again in 27. Well, that's a whole can of worms we're not going to open up now, but that's going to be more for when we get to Orlando. We're going to have heavy discussions about the 27 situation,
yeah,
which is really bad, obviously. But um, if you had Clark, and if you Clark was healthy, he pitches game one instead of Luis Hill in Toronto,
yeah,
and that would have made a big difference potentially.
yeah.
Because Luis
Definitely could
Hill
have.
was not Luis Hill was not the Luis Hill that we saw last year. He was not right the whole season. He was in surge mode all year. Like he wasn't
Yeah,
healthy really. Like he was trying to find himself. He wasn't hitting like 100 miles an hour like we were used to seeing. His command is always questionable, but like this year was even worse. Um, but I think he'll be fine next year as well. And then Will Warren, I thought was solid. He was thrown into an impossible situation when the bases loaded, no outs, and Vladdy coming up. That was never ending well. I thought he did very well, things considered. It was ups and downs. He had a few bad starts to kind of inflate his ERA. I still think he can be solid as well. So yeah, the Yankees starting rotation's in a good spot. So like now it's 1-1. I still would say Dodgers in 6 or 7. That's still where I'm leaning right now. I agree with you that they're not just going to roll through and win in 5 games. The Blue Jays are going to win at least a game out there. I
yeah,
think we're both in agreement that it probably goes back to Toronto 3-2.
yeah, yeah. I will tell you this before the series started. I said to you, I said Dodgers in five. Um, and after game one, I was like, okay, it's not going to be five. They're going to win more than one game.
Yeah,
They're very competitive. Tonight they just got Yamamoto. That's just what happened.
yeah,
Um, so they're going to come back. I do think I'm going to say Dodgers in six. I really do. And look, nothing against the Blue Jays. They're a phenomenal team. Uh, but this Dodger team is another animal. I feel like once they got down, and I feel like after game one, a sleeping giant has risen, and I'm going with Dodgers in six as well.
Look, that's what I said last night too. Like the last time the Dodgers were in this situation, you have to go back a little bit because like they haven't faced much adversity really in the last 2 years. But the one time they did face adversity, they were down 2 games to 1 against the Padres, and they shut them out 2 games in a row.
Mhm.
So that just like the Dodgers are like that team. Like sometimes they need a little push, sometimes they need a little nudge. Like they're so regular season, but when the lights turn on in October, they have to win a game. Like they're the best team in the league still. Like
Yeah,
you trust them more than anyone.
yeah, yeah. They're here for a reason, and we all knew that they were going to be here. It's just they're built for this. That's just what good ownership does. They
Yeah,
don't care what it costs. They bring in all this talent, and they're competitive every year. And after winning a World Series last year, they're 3 games away right now from winning another one.
yeah,
So it's they're after game one. I feel like in a way, if you're the Dodgers, you come in, you get your ass handed to you like they did. Go okay. Now game two, Yamamoto, what do you got? We need you, and look what he did. So
yeah,
they're built for this. Oh, and then when Shohei Ohtani gets on the mound, then they're in trouble too.
yeah. Shohei's a different animal. He's a
Yep.
beast.
Yep. They got plan A, B, and C. This Dodger
Yes,
team.
they do. The only thing that they don't have is a good bullpen, though.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
one thing they don't have.
that's
That's the
their
only.
that's
That,
that's
that's
their Achilles heel.
yes. It's like Thanos is missing the stone. Basically, it's like he has 5 out of 6 stones, but he doesn't have like the sixth one. Basically, like the Dodgers have 5 out of 6. Basically,
Yeah. So he's missing this. He's missing the stone that Vision has in his head that they need. Yeah, that's the one that he needs before he's all
so
powerful.
so
But
he's a little bit. So that means the Dodgers are slightly vulnerable because of that. Like they're not the
yes,
perfect team. They're
yes,
close to it, but they're not the perfect team.
yeah.
Here's the issue, bro. Like besides Roki Sasaki, who do you trust in that Dodgers bullpen?
Nobody.
Exactly.
So
And we saw
uh,
that tonight. Dave Roberts did not want to go in the bullpen at all, and he didn't have to. He had no intention of going to the bullpen.
no, no, not at all. He did not.
So, yeah, I mean, and Roki hasn't pitched at all in the first 2 games, so now they could use him a lot if they need to. Like they could use him for 2+ innings in Game 3 if it's needed. Maybe they try him back to back in certain situations. I think they have done that, but if it's back to back, he can only do an inning. They're not going to do two and then another one probably. But
Yeah, I agree.
so it's really interesting. Like, and then another layer to this is like the Yankees really could have beaten the Blue Jays and had the top seed of the division. They lost on a tiebreaker. Like there were so many games the Yankees blew. So go. So I'll still play the what if game here because you know how we like doing this.
Hmm.
What if the Yankees win the division? Do you feel anything would have been different? Or you think the Blue Jays still would have beat them in the DS if the Yankees had the home field advantage? Because then you would
I,
have had max free Game 1 instead of Game 2.
I think that plays a huge factor. Um, I think maybe it would have been different, but the Blue Jays team was still a phenomenal team regardless. I think having Max Fried game 1 instead of game 2 would have been huge. Um, but this Blue Jays team was built differently, and I think they made the plays when they needed to be made. And maybe that happens for the Yankees in the what if game, but I still think the Blue Jays would have came out victorious. I really do.
Yeah, probably because another problem with that is that Carlos Rodon is hurt. Like he would have been
Yeah,
done. Like
yeah, yeah.
he would not have been able to pitch.
It's the story of
So
the Yankees every year. They're hurt every year.
so then you would have just had Fried and Cam Schlittler and praying for rain. That was not going to work out either. So you're probably right. They would have been done regardless.
It
So
it
let's put that to
it,
bed right now. They
it
would have
would
been
have
done either
it
way.
would have been awesome to say, oh look, the Jets. I'm sorry, the Yankees won the division, but what would have made it? Literally nothing. You
Yeah,
won
because
the division. That's awesome, but you went nowhere with it, and you were in the
yeah,
World Series the year prior.
yeah, and Carlos, like, if he did pitch hurt against Boston, that was a hell of an outing against him if he was injured. I
Yeah.
have to say that
Well,
much. But
at
I
least
don't.
they took care of business against the Red Sox. We'll say that.
I mean, it was like, let's say it was like it's 75% embarrassment instead of 100% embarrassment, I guess. Because if they
Yeah.
lost to that beat down Boston team without Roman Anthony and whatever else was
I
going
mean,
on, that would have been a huge issue.
I'll be honest. I was a little nervous at first. I was like, "Oh boy, this is not good."
Well, I did say that Crochet was going to get Game 1, and I thought the
You
Yankees
did.
would come back. I wasn't
You
that
did.
nervous about it. Now, with the Toronto series, I was completely off base. Like, I kind of figured Blue Jays might win in 4 or 5. I figured it would go 5 games. Like, I wasn't that worried about the Game 1 loss because I thought Free would respond and the Yankees would win Game 2, and I was completely wrong, obviously. And then once they were down on 2, now the writing was on the wall. I was like, look, they'll probably win Game 3. I don't know about 4 or 5, and then we saw what happened. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things they have to clean up. So let's try to do some predictive stuff for games. So let's go through some matchups. So Game 3 is going to be. I actually don't like this decision from Dave as much, but I think there's a reason to it. He's going with Glasnow Game 3. I would have won Otani. I would have tried to go for the kill shot and like take the lead. But I think it's because they only want Shohei to pitch once, I guess, because of his routine and his rehab. They probably don't want him to see him twice in the series. Like maybe he gets a bullpen inning in the Game 7 scenario or something. Like I would have did Otani Game 3, but there's a reason why he did Glass now.
I think there's a method. I think you know the fact that I'm going to bring this back. I used to say this all the time when we used to do this stuff.
Let's hear it.
It's a luxurious problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually is, to be honest.
So the rich get richer. Look, the fact that they have a pitcher like Glass now to use is huge. I will agree with you. After a big win like this, going to Otani, but maybe all the points you just pointed out with his rehab and things like that. They're hoping they don't have to pitch him more than once. I think that's huge. That they could do it once and then he could just focus on playing in the outfield and hitting. So we'll see what happens. But listen, having Glass now go for you game three, I mean, you got to sit back and feel good about it.
There's only one problem, though, which I told you earlier. Glasnow is not good against the Blue Jays. He has a 5.82 ERA against them. This is why,
So
and 68 Ks and 11 appearances. I mean, I don't know how many of those guys were on the team. I gotta look at the numbers against them and see if I'm actually concerned, because they have changed their team a lot. So I'll tell you right now if I think it's an issue. And then Max Scherzer gets the ball game three. And Scherzer, speaking of throwback starting pitchers, how he got Schneider back in the dugout last game against Seattle and then strikes out Ramsey and gets another K was vintage Max as he may be preparing for his end game here. Okay, so actually, I'm not that concerned because these guys don't really hit him that well, except let's see. George Springer actually hits him well. He has a bomb off him and hits like 400, only 13 at bats, almost 500. Vladdy hits him decently well as a bomb off him like 353. So I'm not as concerned as I would have been originally, but Vladdy and Springer do hit him well, so that could be a problem.
yeah. So well, you know what? The stats are don't look good for Glass now, but you never know. It's the World Series, so um, I think they're going in with cautious optimism with this. But looking at this now, I got now with those numbers and the stats, I got to agree why you wouldn't pitch Otani.
Yeah, it has to be the rest thing. That's the only thing that makes sense. That has to be the reason for it.
Yeah, yeah. So they're gonna throw Glass. We're gonna say this right now. Watch Glass now when he watch him light it up. I'm
I
calling it
mean,
now. Watch him just go off.
he could. He has the ability, and he's been well. He's been pitching well in October, so
Yeah.
he had a good start against the
And
Brewers.
I mean
So
they're gonna be in LA, so he's
that
gonna.
helps him.
Yep, 100%.
So we have some numbers against Max Scherzer as well. Mookie Betts is 3 for 10 against him with a bomb. So I
300.
feel like
Okay.
Betts is due to get going a little bit. He's been a
Yeah.
little quiet. Tommy Edman has a bomb off him. He hits him decently well. Freddie Freeman only hits 200 off him, but does have 3 homers off him. He's kind of just been missing on some things. Muncy, who had a big bomb today, has one off him but hits 200. Will Smith's over 4. And Otani's only 2 for 6. Small sample size there.
Okay.
So yeah, I do think yeah, Otani hitting, he did have a double today or something. I think it was a double, but he didn't really do anything too crazy today. Um, and then I was trying to think of something else here. Oh, Will Smith. How about Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, with that go-ahead homer? And he had a good game one too. I feel like Will Smith's always underrated. He's like a good glue guy for the Dodgers. His regular season was not up to his standards, but he's very dependable. One of the best catchers in baseball still.
Yeah. I mean that was huge tonight. And literally once his bat made contact, you knew it was gone. Just the
Yeah,
sound of it, that was clutch. And here's the thing, as to your point, yeah, in the regular season, it's not up to his standards. It's not consistent enough. But look, it's not if they get to the postseason, it's when they do.
yeah,
That's when he shows up. And that's the players you need. This is just, a guy in the postseason. It's like in football. It's like in football with the Patriots with Julian Edelman and
yeah.
when the postseason was going, that's when he played his best. So with Will Smith, he really looked really, really good. That was clutch. They needed that.
Once
And
he
look
hit
at
that, I kind of knew the Dodgers were gonna win. I was just looking to see if someone would give
all
them an edge.
all
Once he did that, I was like, yeah, Dodgers are
all
winning.
Yamamoto needed was just one
One
run
run, yeah.
cushion, and that's all he needed. And they gave him four to work with, and it was over.
Yep, 100%. And then Muncy adds on, and I,
Yep.
I thought he was going to do it yesterday. It was one day off on him, but I wasn't shocked because he did have 3 bombs off Gausman, so I kind of could see that one. Um, I just think the Dodgers are still a well-oiled machine. Pa has woke up a little bit too. If they could get him going, that would be huge. He's been really bad in October, but if he can give them anything offensively, like that's a huge lift from what they've been getting. Because
Yes.
if you look at the numbers like they show in the broadcast and stuff, the Dodgers really have not been hitting that well since their wild card series against the Reds. Which, let's be honest, that was like a spring training series. Like the
Yeah.
Reds had no business playing against the Dodgers. That was like embarrassing to watch.
Yeah, no, that was not good. Yeah, they're not hitting. They're not hitting consistently because we've seen that when the Dodgers hit, they're unstoppable. And this lineup is just built with guys who are very very good hitters, and it's just not consistent. They're if they really want to win the World Series, they're going to really have to start hitting a little bit more. But having pitchers like Yamamoto and Otani and Glass now and everything, that's huge. It's huge. And also, not to let's not forget, don't they have Kershaw still?
Yeah, he's on the roster. So
Yeah.
that can go either way. I'm a little bit nervous to see how he performs because his postseason's track record is not good, and he's very much at the end. And he got lit up by the Phillies, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
No, he's in the end. You talk about end game. Yeah, he's in the end game.
He's really only going to come in and mop up duty unless they
Yep.
get desperate. Which I mean, their bullpen's so bad, he actually might end up pitching in a higher leverage spot than we think, honestly.
Yeah, he might.
So I mean, I expect Gladstone to go at least six, probably. I mean, what do you expect from Max? Like, do you think he's going to be good again? Do you think the Dodgers get to him? Like, do you think the Dodgers win Game 3?
Yes, I do. Uh, I think Max Scherzer, he's still as old as he is, and talking about the end game, he's still a very, very good pitcher. Can't discount how many a Cy Young Award winner like him. But I think they're in LA. That crowd's going to be rowdy. I think they're just going to be fired up. I think he'll. I think he could give them at least five and 2/3 innings. I think he'll get at least 6 or 7 strikeouts. But I do think that they can get to him. If you get to him, what they have to do is get to him early. They really
Yeah.
do. They got to get to him early, and hit, and not be chasing pitches outside of strike zone. So I think honestly, I'm going to keep saying this. I think Freddie Freeman is what we saw him do last year for the Dodgers in the World Series is just amazing and one of the most clutch uh, series I've ever seen from a player. I think this is just something to me. Just feels like in LA, I feel Freddie Freeman's just going to go off.
He's kind of warming up tonight. Like he had the
Yeah.
double. He had a ball that was close to leaving the yard.
Yep.
The last 2 games, I could definitely see him doing it in Game 3.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers. I mean, I could see them winning. I mean, I see it a little differently. Maybe I think maybe Blue Jays squeak out Game 3 because I think Scherzer could reach back a little bit. Maybe they get to Glass now, but the Dodgers is definitely going to win the Otani and Bieber start.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like Game 3 is very important for the Blue Jays. Because I feel like the Dodgers, we know they could hit Shane Bieber. Like, that's not going to be a surprise. And
Yeah.
Otani's probably going to shut the Blue Jays down, especially because they did those "we don't need you" chants. Those might come back to bite them pretty badly. Because I think he's going to shove it up their, you know what, for lack of a better term, in Game 4.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go off against them. I really do agree with you there.
Let me ask you this: do you think that if the Dodgers win Game 3, do you think the Blue Jays are kind of in a position where, all right, they might not win another game?
No, I don't think that. I think they'll win at least one in LA.
Okay.
But the problem is, if they go down 3-1, they might just get ran out of the building. Like, that is the issue. Because Game
Okay.
5, you're going to have a rematch of Blake Snell and Trey Savage, and that's going to be an issue for. I think Trey can pitch better, too, but the issue is, you can't expect Blake Snell to be that bad 2 times in a row with how good
No.
he's been. That's the thing. So, to me, the Blue Jays really have to win Game 3 because that's their best opportunity for a win, how I'm looking at the 3 games.
Yeah.
Maybe five is a little coin flippy, but they have a big advantage with Blake Snell. 4 is really heavy towards the Dodgers, in my opinion. Game 3 is going to be huge. They'll have an off day tomorrow. They'll reset. The Blue Jays bullpen has been okay. I mean, today it wasn't the best. It was pretty good in Game 1, except Otani hit a 2-run shot off someone, but that happens. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna still say Dodgers 6 again. I suppose I'll stick with 6 or 7,
Yeah,
but
I think that's good. I
because
agree.
like I could see a situation where the Blue Jays win a game 6 in Toronto if it goes back 3-2, because I think you would get Gausman versus Yamamoto again, and I know Yamamoto's great, but like maybe the Blue Jays figure something out the second time around, because like the Blue Jays are tough to strike out. I don't think you'll get that many Ks against them again. They really don't
No,
strike out, and like I think that Gausman actually pitched very well.
yeah, he did.
He just like he there's just two
All his
pitches
pitches were working tonight.
there's just two pitches he would want back,
Yep.
honestly, if you
Well,
think
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like other than that, like he was nails. Like he basically went 7 innings, 1 run before those. Like I think he ends up going 6 and 2/3. So like even if he just gave up the bomb to Smith and got out of it with Muncy, like that would have been better too. But like they weren't gonna win regardless. Like the Blue Jays were not scoring more than 1 run tonight.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. I agree with you 100%.
I just think Yamamoto's electric, and what a great move by the Dodgers. And yeah, so Tony's definitely helped. There's no question. And then like now the trickle down effect with Roki going over there as well, and then the Blue Jays getting close with Roki too. So the Blue Jays definitely have a lot of access to grind in this series, and they did do it in game 1, and do it in game 2. But I'm not saying the Blue Jays are dead. I don't think they're done completely. I'm not handing the trophy to the Dodgers because they won 1 game, but they are at a disadvantage now because of like the home field. Even though the Blue Jays did what I thought they would do and they split it, so they have life. But and hey, even if they go back down to Toronto 3-2, you never know. I mean, it's only 2 games. Like I could win 2 games in a row. Like it's gonna be hard, but like we've seen it happen before.
Yeah, we have. Anything could happen. It's a World Series, so I think that these next few games it's going to be fun. It really is. It's
And
going to be
then yeah,
a lot of fun to see what happens out in LA.
if you get to a game 7, it would be Glass now versus Scherzer, I suppose. So that would
Huh.
be really crazy if that happened. Imagine Max pitching in game 7, the last outing of his career potentially in Toronto,
Yeah,
trying to win the World Series and stop the Dodgers from going back to back. A team he used to be on, like that would be box office.
yeah, that would be box office.
That would be insane if
Can't
that
write a
happened
better
like
script
that.
than that.
That would be unbelievable because there is some bad blood between the two sides. By the way, like the Dodger fans are going to be on him when he goes back there, and they let him have it last time, and he showed up. And Max loves that too. That's why I could definitely see him showing up in Game 3. Like he uses
Max
that
is a
as fuel.
psychopath. He's a
Yeah,
psychopath.
he's a half-eyed psychopath. Has two different colored eyes, like which is great.
Half-eyed
I mean,
psychopath.
half-eyed, half-colored eyes. There we go for one of them. But like I can't wait to see what he does. Like, I think it's going to be a very good game. So let's wrap up with Yankees. How would you
Hmm.
fix the mess that's taking place with the Yankees? Like, we could start with
Firing
Matt.
everybody.
Okay.
Fire. Okay, you want it? How do you fix it? All right, here's how you fix it. First of all, you get rid of the problem, and well, obviously the problem is ownership, but we can't get rid of that, unfortunately.
No.
So here's the thing: you got to get. To me, I'm sorry, Boone and Cashman have to go. It's just not good enough. It's just complacent. You can't be complacent. You just can't. Uh, Settling for mediocrity when you're the New York Yankees and you have 27 championships and you haven't won a championship since '09, that's a problem. You're
Yes.
spending all this money. You have talent. You've gone out and you've bought these free agents and you're trying, but it's just not good enough. You need to get a new GM in there. You need to get a new manager in there, and there needs to be a new vision for the Yankees. And personally, I've said this to you.
Go ahead.
I said that if they fired Cashman, they should just give it to the assistant GM and let's see what his plan is. And before you know, if his plan is still something similar to what Cashman was going to do, then no.
That's the
That
only issue I would have with that. If it's like gonna be like similar things, and
yeah,
no. But like,
like
look, I would follow your path. What I would love, this is not possible, but maybe it is. What I would do is I would call up Tampa Bay and buy out Kevin Cash's contract and give him whatever they wanted for Kevin Cash. I would give him a Godfather offer he can't refuse and get him out of Tampa Bay. Because I think if you put him with the Yankees, you gave him like the payroll the Yankees had, like that would be something to see. I don't know if that would ever happen, but I'd love to see that happen. That would be great. There's definitely a few other guys I would think of. An interesting candidate for me, his name's been thrown around. How do you feel about D-Row coming out of the studio to manage the Yankees? Because he is going to manage the USA team. Like, I feel like he wants to manage the team eventually. I know it's kind of similar to Blue coming out of the ESPN studio, but I feel like D-Row has a little bit more baseball instincts maybe or something. Like I feel like he knows what's going on. Like I mean Boone knows, but like I feel like D-Row maybe would be good. I mean he's a Bergen Catholic kid. He comes from the area, so it would mean a lot to him. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think that would be an interesting outside the box hire, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be all for it. Anything other than Boone, I just don't think since day one, for as long as you and I have been doing this, my opinion has not changed on Aaron Boone. I don't think he's very good at his job. I think
Yeah.
that there have been times where he's made some interest. He gives the Yankees entertainment getting thrown out and the Savages in the box, and but honestly, I'm gonna say this: bring it back from 2018, years later. Here we go. He only got that job because he hit that walk off to send the Yankees a World Series. Let's call a spade a spade. That's why.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
and the thing is just he's a puppet. He's a yes man, and that's not what the Yankees need. The Yankees need two guys, a general manager and a manager, who are going to work hand in hand and come up with a plan and not just be yes men for ownership and the front office. They need to come up with a plan. It doesn't work for the Jets. It doesn't work for the
Oh,
Yankees.
God.
It's so with the Yankees. I think the firing of Boone and the firing of Brian Cashman is just long, long overdue, and it just the Yankees need a fresh new outlook, a brand like the brand new Yankees. Same goals, new outlook. That's the way it's. The goal is simple for the Yankees. It's World Series or bust every year. But the thing is, they need to be, in my opinion, they need to be more aggressive. They need to be better. Uh, I'll tell you what, they need to get some person in the medical department to help out with all these injuries they deal with, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
But to me, that's just what I would do. They need a new GM. They need a new manager. They have the talent. They do. They've gone out and spent, but just because you spent doesn't mean you stop batting, and being complacent. Oh yeah, we signed these free agents in the offseason. What do we need? You know what? At the trade deadline, we're not where we want to be, but you know what? Maybe a player or two can help, and you just sit back and watch. If you back in the day, if the Yankees needed to make a move, it happened before we even had a chance to talk about it.
That's true. It
So
did. Yeah.
that's how you fix the Yankees. You got to bring back that aggressiveness. Steve Cohen, what he's done with the Mets. Now, granted, did it work this year? No, it did not.
Not at all.
But I do like his approach. That I
Yeah.
don't care what it costs. At put the team out there. Dodgers, what did they do? I don't care what it costs. Bringing in Otani, the best investment they've done. Freddie Freeman, a great investment. Trading for Mookie Betts, an amazing. That's not talked about enough. How
Yeah.
such a great move that was for the Dodgers, and such a stupid move for the Red Sox, which started their demise. But that's a topic
Yeah.
for another day. So, in terms of this, wow, haven't talked baseball in a long time. Feels pretty good. So I still got it. So here we go. The fact of the matter is, I'm going to end it with this with the Yankees. You just need to get rid of those two clowns. And owner, honestly, I personally think in ownership, Hal Steinbrenner literally should sit down, look at himself in the mirror, maybe go to church or something, pray to God, and ask to somehow have God have his father show up somewhere and just slap him in the face and say, "Here, take this mentality." So, but other than that, the Yankees, look, they're not far off. They just need better front office executives. I'll put it that way.
That's the thing that frustrates you to no end. They're not far off. They get close every year in severed sense. They just don't execute when they need to. It's like the Seahawks situation with Marshawn Lynch at the goal line. Like you get in the red zone Yankees, like Joel Sherman
Oh, I
said,
love that.
the red zone
I love
Yankees.
that.
Joel
But
Sherman called it. That's perfect. That fits into a T. Like sometimes they get to the 20, sometimes they get to the 10. They might even get to the 5, but they're never gonna get it all the way in. Like something always happens, whether it's an injury, whether it's a walk-off homer, whether it's an error, whether it's someone striking out. Like it's just
when you're in the red zone, you got to score. If you're getting down in the red zone inside the 20-yard line and you're not scoring touchdowns and not transitioning to football, everybody watching and just making the metaphor. But with that, if you're in the red zone and you don't score, there's a problem.
that's
There's a
how
severe
yeah.
problem.
That's how you end up like the Jets.
Yes, that's exactly how you end up like the New York Jets. Yes, uh, but the thing is with the Yankees, Jules, it's very frustrating as a fan, and as you covering the team, I know, and reporting, it's frustrating watching this team. They went out, they needed to add to the pitching staff. They added Max Fried. We got the big fish years ago. We were in San Diego when it happened with
You
Garrett
Garrett, yeah.
Cole. Um, they brought in Rodon. They, you know, re-signed Arson Judge. Sorry. They bring back Judge, which was huge. So, you know, it's they're not far off. They've made some questionable decisions.
Yeah,
And
put it mildly, yes.
not to go on a tangent, the Anthony Volpe situation needs to be figured out because that was a problem this year. I
Yeah.
also think he was in. There's rumors. I don't know if this is true. If he was injured all year
He
or
was definitely
not,
injured for a while.
but I still think that kid has potential. I just think he was thrown into a situation that he had
Quickly,
to.
yeah, a
Yeah,
little
and
quick,
look, he
yeah.
did what he had to do. It wasn't great. I'm not giving up on him by any means necessary.
Yeah, I don't give
You've
up on him either, no.
you've seen it firsthand covering him at Somerset,
Yeah,
just how he.
I've been in the trenches with him, so I can't give up.
So look. I'm a Volpe believer. I think he's going to pick it up. I think he'll shut everybody up. Watch next year. He comes out, fixes what he needs to get fixed. Um, but I think in this offseason, you got to approach it. Honestly, they already didn't approach it because they should have fired Boone and Cashman, and the assistant GM to see what his goals are and what his plan would be. Because if I was ownership, I would sit him down and I would want to hear what he has to say. And if it's anything similar to, what Brian Cashman has been feeding us for years,
Yeah, no,
then you got to
no,
get rid of him.
absolutely
But if
not,
he has a
yeah.
different approach, and look, I want to get back to what it used to be, but I have a plan. I'm going to give him him or her an opportunity. So honestly, I'm going to keep it real. You might not agree with this, and some people might be
Let's
like,
hear
"Why?"
it.
I honestly would call up Derek Jeter and ask, "Hey, man, look, what do you think about this team? What if we gave you an opportunity? Look, when he was with the Marlins, it wasn't that great, but
No, it wasn't.
what give him another shot with the team that he loves more than anything to help build. And look, he was there when the Yankees were successful, winning championships. He won 5. He knows what needs to be done to win. That's the thing. So honestly, I would give Derek Jeter a call and see if he would have any ideas. I know it wasn't great in Miami, but with the payroll the Yankees have and the resources they have, I think that he'll make a lot more better decisions.
Yeah, and I would almost give him like maybe an advisory role. You don't have to put him as a GM, but would make him like an advisory or like an
Yeah,
assistant in there. He doesn't. I don't want him to be the general manager, but
no,
like
no, no, not the GM. Like basically say
I
like,
get what you mean. I think what you said is kind of what I'm saying, basically, in a sense. Like, kind of ask him
it's
what he thinks.
basically
But
it's
you got to get rid of
basically
Cashman to do that because they don't like each other. Like, Cashman would have to be out of the picture. He's not going to give Cashman the
well,
information.
Derek Jeter's documentary. Yeah, he made that clear that him and Cashman hate each other.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen unless Cashman's not in the office. But
No,
maybe if that happens down the line, you never know.
It's
Yeah, so like I like most of the stuff you said, to be honest. Like you gotta rip up the analytical department. The computers aren't working. They
you
need
you
they
are,
need they
don't
need
even
new
get me
computers.
don't even get me started. Yeah, they need to upgrade from Dells to Macs.
Yeah.
The
Like,
thing,
all the formulas they're putting in, they're not coming out the right way.
no. You know how I feel about analytics. You know how I've been.
I like it, but they don't use it properly. Like I'm not against it, but like they don't use it properly.
I'm somebody. I'm somebody. You know what? The analytics to give me, the calculations on a situation, but I'm still the type of person. I go with my gut, and if I know something's right, I'm going with it. If I feel it's wrong, I'm not going with it. So
Yeah,
that's
that's fair. I respect that as well. So like I would overhaul that department, get rid of the whole front office, like start from scratch. The one guy I think could be the assistant GM that I've heard some chatter about is Kevin Reese. He's a guy I know personally well. He does players development in the minors. But they have been turning out
yeah,
some decent
yeah,
prospects lately. The only thing is I wish the hitting prospects were a little bit better. I feel like there's some to be desired with the hitting prospects, but
right.
I mean Ben Rice is a good hit. Bowlby could still be. Austin Wells, I think, is still a good player despite the
Spencer
downhill effect.
Jones.
Spencer Jones is the big one. That's what we have to see. Is he going to be a hit? Is he a trade piece for a big player? Is Jason Dominguez going to be a full hit? I mean, we know he's at least a league average hitter. Maybe could be above average hitter. He's going to clean up his defense. He knows it. They know it. So, like, he's going to work on his defense in the DR and winter ball in left field. So, we'll see. We're gonna get going soon, but like, let's talk about some personnel stuff really quick. Now, are you on the Kyle Tucker train? Do you want to go all in for Kyle Tucker? And would you let Bellinger go in that scenario? Because you could get both. They won't, obviously. They're not gonna. Where is the 2009 type off season too? Like, where is we haven't had that one because it's only like pieces. Like they'll do part of it, but it's never that many. Like Devin
No.
Williams was a good trade. It failed though. I'm not upset with the trade. Like it just didn't get executed properly. Like he should have been. He
And
could have been way
look,
better. Like I'm not upset at that move. It was a good move to make.
look, look. Kyle Tucker is a phenomenal player. You know better than anybody how good that guy is. I think you know what to add to this team. I think you. Who are the look? Even though the Yankees didn't win the division and the Blue Jays did, who are you chasing? You're chasing the Dodgers. That's what you're doing.
You're
You
chasing the
gotta,
Blue Jays too now. I
you
would say.
gotta, you gotta match. Okay, you're right. Yeah, you gotta match what the. But to me, you gotta match what the Dodgers are doing too.
Yeah,
That lineup, you
true.
gotta go. You gotta go out there, and you could not let the Dodgers go out and get every great free agent because that's what it seems always happens.
Because they're in the
So,
Tucker talks. The Dodgers are going for him. Like they
oh, I
are gonna
know.
they are gonna make a push for him.
I honestly, you know what? Look, Bellinger was good for us. It was to me, it was hitter. It was good. It wasn't. I think you could agree with me. Bellinger was, the signing was a very good signing. It was very inconsistent at times, but to me, look, I'm going with Kyle Tucker. I'm going to the craps table, putting all my chips on Kyle Tucker. I think that would be a huge get. I think him adding to our lineup would be huge, especially with Judge. I mean, you get any great hitter and great outfielder with Judge, it's going to be great. You got to go into this, and then honestly, um, I've heard. I don't know if this is true. Apparently, the Tigers might shop Screwball at the meetings. I don't believe that at all. I think that's ridiculous if they do. But if they do, the Yankees better be first in line on that and literally give whatever for Tariq Schoolball because I think you could agree with me on this. Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Rodon, Screwball. Well, Screwball to me, in my opinion, he's the ace if you get him.
Yeah,
And
he's the
Garrett
ace.
Cole is your two.
Yup, Screwball
So
becomes the ace
Screwball,
instantly.
Garrett Cole is your two, even coming off of Tommy John. That's pretty good. Max Fried. What was it? Rondon, and then the fifth starter is
Cam.
yep, is Cam. That's pretty freaking good.
Yeah,
But it's not. It's fantasy baseball. That's what we're talking
yeah.
about.
I don't see that happening. I mean,
But
a
I
couple.
think
Yeah,
But personally, for the Yankees, I think this free agent class, I looked at it, it's not the strongest, um, but I do think that the Yankees need to at least make a huge run and a serious one. not kick the
Yeah,
tires.
now that we tried, like we're gonna do like a bull crap offer just to say we were in it, like an actual offer that he would take.
No,
Like
yeah,
now that we tried, oh sorry we didn't get him, like we did this and that. No, like go get the guy. Like he all it costs is money. You don't have to give him any assets
only
for him. It's
money.
only money. And Bellinger basically was a signing because that was like a salary dump from the Cubs. Like they gave up nothing to get him. So like
Right.
that was a good move. It was a good replacement for Soto because he plays four spots, as good as it could be. Yeah, inconsistency. You're right. He started the year terribly. He figured it out May on, kind of. Playoffs, he was the no-show, though, and that's a problem. And
Yep.
Cody Bellinger's playoff track record is not the greatest, so that's
No,
another
it's not.
issue if he returns. And Kyle Tucker, too, to be honest. But that's not going to stop me from getting him because he's a better player than Bellinger. He steals more bases, he hits the ball harder, he's a little bit younger. He's going to age better than Bellinger. I mean, because Bellinger relies on soft contact a little bit, and that's not good. And Tucker pulls the ball a lot. Like I think I told you, he only had one Oppo homer this year. So if you take him out of Wrigley Field, you put him into Yankee Stadium, you saw what that did for Bellinger. Now imagine what that'll do for Tuck if he comes to Yankee Stadium. The only issue is the defense, it's body. Who's going to center if they get Tucker? Because I don't think Grisham's going to be back. So
Right.
that's the only issue I would have with Tucker. You have to put Judge back in center, which is not the best idea. They don't seem to want to put Dominguez out there. Do you go Spencer Jones out there and take the gamble on Spencer Jones out in center field at that point?
Was
Because
he ready? That's the
that's where
problem.
we're gonna have to find out. I think he's close to ready, but the problem is he could be another Joey Gallo if he doesn't get his strikeout situation
Uh,
handled.
I don't want to hear
Yeah,
that.
no, no one wants to hear that, but it's a reality. It's the wide range of what he could be. He's either like Joey Gallo, or I'm trying to think of another speed outfielder that would whiff a little bit was actually good. It's escaping me. Like there's a wide variance for it, but like he's either like I'm not gonna say Aaron Judge because that's too crazy. Okay, let's say he's either like Joey Gallo or somewhere in the middle of Gallo and Judge. Like he would sign for the middle of that Gallo and Judge probably. Like
Okay.
a week, like better, like when Gallo was actually good, like a little bit better than that, maybe like somewhere in the middle of like what Judge is. Like I had a good comp, but I forgot what it was. Like I don't know, but um, yeah, I think that's doable. Another guy that interests me is Kazuma Okamoto, being posted by the Yomiuri Giants. I think he has some ties to Matsui. He's a first baseman and third baseman. He puts the ball in play. It's decent amount. He's a righty. I think his defense is pretty solid. Um, so I mean, oh, actually, I got the comp. I gotta give my boy Smith Brinkner some love for this one. Here's my comp for it's actually his comp, but I will give it, and I think you'll like this one. How about Ellie De La Cruz?
Oh, that's a great one. I like that. I like hearing
That
that.
could be like the ceiling for him, maybe. Although Ellie didn't hit as well as I would have thought this year, but still, that's still like the skill set is like insane.
That guy is
So
phenomenal.
yeah, so something like that could be his ceiling, maybe if all goes well. So I mean, is he ready? I don't know. I really don't. But he hit a lot of bombs last year and has RBIs, OPS, and he does steal base. He plays good defense. It's just a strikeout problem. Can he find a way to cut down some whiffs? That's the issue. I don't know. I hope so. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Fingers crossed.
Because the issue is he's so big, his swing is so long. Like he has to shorten it somehow, but it's so hard to do because how big he is. Like
Right.
it's rare that players are like Judge. Like it's like Judge, Dave Winfield, and a few other big guys have really succeeded. I mean, Stanton did for a time, but like it's very rare to see those guys pan out.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
So like we'll get going soon. If you weren't gonna make a pitching, well, one with pitching, they gotta fix that bullpen. That's another thing. The bullpen really has to get fixed. I don't know about Luke Weaver and Devin Williams returning. I'd like to see Tim Hill return. A guy we both like is Pete Fairbanks. If the Rays are shopping him, I would give that a try. Would they send him to the Yankees? I don't know. Robert Suarez is a good guy from the Padres. I think he's going to hit the market. Rafael Iglesias, which I've talked to you about, is a good option I've been mentioning. And then the starting pitcher trade, do you go get Alcantara? Do you go get Freddie Peralta? Do you try to bring back a Mike King maybe?
I mean, Alcantara, I would definitely take a flyer on him to see how much it would cost to bring him in. The bullpen, yeah, Devin Williams is just. I understand why you made the move. It was a good move to make, but it just didn't work out. And the one thing I'm happy about is a 1 year rental. So you could see, is this a long term thing? No, it's not. So
No, yeah.
now it's gone. With all the guys you just said, I think they will prioritize the bullpen. I think that's where you got to start too, um, and get that short up. We're far away. We're far gone from when the Yankees had one of the best bullpens, if not the best bullpen in baseball back in the day.
Miller, Betances, Chapman. Yep.
Repeat,
Yeah, and then with Mariano Wetland back in the day with
of
the
course. Yeah.
Dynasties.
Yep.
Those guys were shut down. Ramiro Mendoza, like those guys were nails too, especially in October. So, all right, brother, I think we did it. We returned. It was an hour show. It's almost we made it past midnight somehow. I guess we
Yeah.
still got. I guess we still got it, huh?
I guess so, man.
All right, brother. So I'm gonna lay this up to you. Let everyone know what you're working on, where they can find you, and what's cooking in Bobby's world.
Just like the old times' sake. Yeah. Yeah. I'm covering the NFL, as Julian knows, with Latino sports.
Yep,
Uh,
we do that.
Focus. Obviously, my game is football, so I'm always there. So, got some things in the works for after football season. Once that gets shored up, I'll announce that. Julian knows, but we'll keep that between us for now.
Yep.
So, but you can find me, of course, on Twitter at btomps81, on Instagram at bobbythompson81. Not really on TikTok. Sometimes I am, not always, but maybe I'll get into that soon. Uh, Forgive me, I don't even remember my TikTok username, but yeah, you can find me on those two. Twitter's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, like, and we're breaking you back into baseball again. That's part of the surprises we're working on. Hopefully, we'll just
Yep.
keep it lightly. And we kind of did mention one of them. People were paying attention, but we'll have to
Yeah.
see how much
Done.
if they caught that.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, so I'll fly myself off now. It's Julian Gallardi show on YouTube. You can actually not it's not the channel name. Maybe I can. No, I'll just keep my name as a channel. I think it works. So, if you search my name, you'll find the channel. We're hitting like 415 ish. Still trying to get to 500, which is a funny number, but but for reasons that we can't say on the air, but we know why it's a funny number.
Gotcha.
So, but it's an important one. All kidding aside, because it gets you halfway to like the verification, like the monetization on YouTube. So, all kidding aside, like sub the channel, help me get to that five. Hopefully, Twitter is Julian Guardi one. I'll be doing a lot of stuff in the off season and finishing this World Series. Instagram is Julian Guardi 11. TikTok is my name and Facebook is my name, but like that's kind of just there to flow content, honestly. So that's how everyone can find me. Latino Sports, like Bobby mentioned, yes, I do work with them as well. So check them out on all platforms and World Baseball Network as well. I've been posting a lot of clips on there, especially for the World Series. So, brother, until next time, we'll see when that is. I'll be back for Game 3 post game. I don't know how that's going to look yet, but I will be back Monday night.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for having me. This was awesome, and we'll get back to that.
Yeah, no, we'll work some routines. We got to mix and match a little bit, see how things look. But thank you for rejoining and stuff. Looking forward to all this, and it was a good game tonight. Now we got off. So now tomorrow's your day to shine. It's Sunday Fun Day.
Yes, it is. Go Pats, baby.
Unfortunately, the Lions are on a bye.
Yeah, yeah, they're on by. Patriots got the Browns trying to win 5 in a row.
Yeah, let's see. Although we got fantasy football going, so gotta see what happens out there.